Hi, my name is Lindsay Stephenson. I am in the Shawnee Mission School District. I'm an instructional coach, and I'm the secondary digital learning coach for all the middle and high schools in the district. A little bit about me: I'm an educator, a mom, and a learner. So, for my education, I went to KU, a bachelor's degree in education with an ELA focus. I also got my master's in special education from KU and focused on deaf education. I'm currently taking this course as part of getting my licensure requirements for administration. I've been in education for 16 years. I worked as a deaf educator in Blue Springs. Then I moved, and that was for elementary school. And then I moved to Olathe School District, where I taught English and reading for 11 years. I then moved to Leavenworth School District, where I taught, where I was an instructional facilitator. So I worked with curriculum and then also supported teachers in the classrooms as well as designed their professional development. And I am now in the Shawnee Mission South High School, and I am this instructional coach for that single building, as well as being the digital learning coach for all middle and high school. So right now we are working through the adoption of Canvas, and I'm leading the training and implementation of that rollout. This is the administration team I get to work with every day. They are a lot of fun. They're great mentors. They really, truly put kids and learning first. So I've learned a lot from them in our work together. At home, I am married to an educator. He teaches social studies at Olathe East High School. We have a daughter who is 8 years old and will be a third grader in Edwardsville Elementary. We live in Edwardsville, Kansas, which is not too far from the Legends and feeds into Bonner Springs School District. We have 4 dogs, 3 cats, 15 chickens, and 1 rooster. And so we have a bunch of animals that are keeping us company as we've been home a lot more this summer. We do like to travel. I love hiking, so we love to go to Colorado. Most of our plans for this summer have been put on hold. Professional communication. There are 3 things that are kind of my priorities. The first is face-to-face communication when that is possible. So making sure that in my role as an instructional coach, I am visible, I am in the classroom, students and teachers both recognize me, know who I am, know what I do. I'm there to support teachers primarily, but I also do support students. So I'll go into our study skills classes a couple times a week and work with students as well. Our administration team makes a really big emphasis on handwritten communication. We keep a spreadsheet of all staff in the building, and every staff member should receive 4 handwritten notes from an administrator from our team. I serve as part of that team, even though I don't have administrative duties. So we handwrite notes about things we appreciate and the things that they are able to bring to our school that we recognize. I also leave handwritten notes every time I go into a classroom. So I have a little stack of note cards. I tend to go with the kind of the scripted ideas from Lead Like a Pirate, say something I appreciate, something I recognize. I do keep my own spreadsheet of the staff in the beginning of the year. I ask them, or every semester, usually ask them, do they want validation, suggestions, or critical feedback. And so I keep that spreadsheet so that I honor those boundaries with each person. And then digitally, I regularly send a SMORE to all my teachers, and it usually has some PD in there and some resources. I send it every week to my new teachers so that they have some support through that. And I do pay for the SMORE. I use it for my part-time job, so I write it off and use it for both jobs. When we went to virtual learning, I started to do weekly videos, and the teachers gave me lots of positive feedback on that. They just liked seeing, even though they were short and sweet and really simple, they liked just seeing the video and the actual communication through the videos. I also am using Twitter. I use Twitter to communicate with teachers. I do a podcast about every 2 weeks. I go around, interview teachers, and what are you doing? What are you excited about? So it serves as a little bit of PD because that's one way we can hear what's happening in other classrooms around us. So teachers listen to that, and I give them access. And it also is accessible to parents and students on Twitter as well. I use the quick GoPro app on my phone, and so I'll go through and take pictures and do quick walkthroughs, and then I compile all those pictures. Well, I don't. The app compiles all those pictures into a short, sweet little video with some music in the background, and I also post that. So I try to stay pretty current on Twitter, just keeping our story told in the social media so people can see what's happening at Shawnee Mission South High School. As far as being influenced by the articles that we read, Number one, I have a difficult time introducing myself and telling people what I do because my job tends to be not the same description district to district, and some districts don't even have instructional coaches at all. So that's one thing that I tend to struggle with sometimes is I feel like I have to define what my job is as well as tell them what I do. So considering why I chose my role in education and sharing that with others right out of the gate is that I was looking for a role that would impact more than just the 110 students I had day to day as a reading and English teacher, but I wanted to impact hundreds, if not 1,000 students a day if I had that capability by influencing teachers. So sharing a story of how I support teachers and what I do and how I connect with teachers on a daily basis. And being new to a building, if I was a new administrator to a building, I think that number one, I would introduce myself. I would share a little bit about my biggest influencer, which is a very dear friend of mine that I lost to suicide years ago, and how that kind of changed how I looked at my role in education and looked at my role in changing day to day what I do to make myself happy. And then I would like to set up meetings with each department and each teacher so that when I start a new building, I would be able to get to know them one to one, as so that I'm extending that interest in them as well. I look forward to learning with everybody in this course, and it'll be a fast July of learning for all of us.